Hey guys, I hope you all are doing good. Today's topic is a bit different from the usual. Usually I talk about upcoming or released games, but as you would have probably guessed from the title, XDefiant is shutting down. On 3rd December 2024, this message was conveyed to the fans by a long heartfelt tweet from Mark Rubin, executive producer on XDefiant, followed by another tweet from the XDefiant official Twitter account. Currently in Season 2, the game is going to get Season 3 updates and the game servers are going to remain open till 3rd June 2025. But from 3rd December 2024, new downloads and player registrations will no longer be available. Hated or loved, XDefiant indeed brought some much needed change to the FPS genre. I took some time to reflect on the things that I felt this game did well, some things where they should have improved and they didn't, and finally the probable reasons behind the shutdown. I hope you liked the video. Let's begin. Among the list of things XDefiant did really well, I wanted to highlight the three things that were more important to me, starting with communication. Mark Rubin and the XDefiant team really changed the way how communication were happening between devs and the gaming community. They maintained transparent communication at all times, and even when there were delays or issues, the team did not hide away or lie about it. They acknowledged the issue and promised a fix for those. How much of those promised fixes were achieved is a different question, and we'll address that for sure. But with XDefiant, other gaming companies also saw the value in transparent communication, and they also saw the potential of building a loyal player base when changes are made in accordance to the community feedback. If I have to take an example, Delta Force is one such game where the devs have maintained transparency with their player base at all times, and they have made changes to the game based on community feedback. Next is SBMM. Before XDefiant came into picture, the concept of having an FPS shooter without SBMM was not existent. Games like Call of Duty were trying to get even more strict SBMM algorithms in place even for casual game modes. For all the reasons XDefiant got shut down, I can tell for sure that having no SBMM was not one of those reasons. I genuinely enjoyed my time playing the game whenever I hopped in for a match or two. I never felt that I was in a match where I got destroyed by pro players. Yes, of course, some matches felt a bit relaxed and others felt a bit challenging, but nothing felt as draining as that of Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer matches. Maybe it's just me, but this year's Call of Duty felt way more relaxed in terms of its matchmaking when compared to the last 2 years' offerings. I have been playing a lot of multiplayer matches in Black Ops 6 and I'm surprised that I'm having fun. Maybe they took some lessons from XDefiant and loosened the SBMM rope a little bit in public lobbies. Last but not the least, simplicity. I believe in the saying less is more. Nowadays there are many games coming out with multiple abilities for the players along with multiple gadgets. Although it sounds amazing on paper and appeals to many, there are also a significant number of people like me who enjoys simple loadouts with just your tactical and lethal equipment and guns. I'm old and it gets super confusing to learn that many keybinds to use multiple abilities and gadgets, and if I'm not using them, I'm usually at a disadvantage against players who use those abilities and gadgets. Ever wonder why Call of Duty doesn't even try to change their loadout mechanics? It's because everyone already knows that simple loadout and people don't have to learn new keybinds to enjoy and be competitive at the game. It helps people from all ages to jump in and have fun. Although being a hero shooter, XDefiant kept it fairly simple with just one tactical and one ultimate ability. I found it easy to learn and map my keybinds as per my comfort. I genuinely hope new and upcoming FPS games take a note from that and try to keep things simple for the players. It wasn't all rainbows and sunshine for XDefiant. Otherwise, why would it get shut down, right? So let's look at a few things the game struggled to improve upon. We'll start with netcode. Netcode was an issue during XDefiant's development stage, and it still continues to be one of the primary issues till date. Even after the game got delayed due to the same issue, it still didn't get resolved when the game got released. Even after numerous feedback and complaints from the community through forums and social media, the team somehow could not resolve the netcode issue. It's just a guess. I think the Snowdrop engine may be the culprit here. The engine was mainly developed for single-player games and it was modified to accommodate XDefiant. Maybe it was not cut out for FPS games, or maybe my assumption is just dead wrong. Only time will tell. Next up is no incentive to grind for the players. The game launched pretty bare bones. There were no camo challenges to grind for apart from the basic camo grind like those gold and diamond etc. On top of it, it became extremely repetitive and tiresome with the update related to the camo grind. They just made the existing grind more difficult for players and then expected players to keep playing the game without any short-term incentive. That was a recipe for disaster. I'd be lying if I said that I played XDefiant all the time. To be honest, it got dried for me pretty soon after the launch and I stopped playing the game even even before Season 1 launched. I did jump into the game after the release of Season 1, but I didn't find the incentives to be good enough for my time. One other thing was Prestige. Although Prestige was something that was talked about pre-launch, it still hasn't made it to the game till now. There was a good chunk of players who wanted the Prestige system, and Black Ops 6 gave it to them this year. Without any such incentive, the grind became stale too soon for players. There wasn't much variety in game modes at launch, although it got a bit better later during the following seasons. The launch window became one of the major pitfalls for XDefiant. The game was supposed to be launched during Modern Warfare 2. People were really frustrated with the way Modern Warfare 2 had turned out to be, and XDefiant should have been released at that time to capitalize on that. Instead, the game got delayed and was launched before Modern Warfare 3, and by that time, most of the shortfalls that came with Modern Warfare 2 were already taken care of by Modern Warfare 3. Then the content updates for XDefiant were also not good enough when compared to its competitors. I feel like the final nail in the coffin was Black Ops 6. This year's Call of Duty title made all the right decisions and pulled record number of players. There have been many players who were playing XDefiant in the hopes of a prestige system, jumped straight into Black Ops 6 and never looked back. Launching the game only on Ubisoft launcher and not on Steam was a stupid decision. Even Activision is not that stupid enough to think that their player numbers will not take a major hit if they happen to launch the game only on Battle.net and not on Steam on PC. But Ubisoft CEOs clearly thought otherwise. Many people didn't even bother checking out the game as it was not available on Steam. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a nobody making a video on YouTube, right? Ubisoft's recent financial turmoil also didn't help. The company have been making bad decisions one after another, and the results are showing in terms of their poor financial situation. With their recent fiasco, both investor and player sentiment is at all-time low. The large number of employees and the game being a free-to-play also didn't help the situation. Free-to-play games tend to take time before finding success, and at this moment Ubisoft couldn't afford that. At the end, these are just my humble guesses and nothing more. In an article by Variety, it was mentioned that as a result of the shutdown, Ubisoft will be moving half of its employees that worked on XDefiant into other games within Ubisoft, and would be closing its San Francisco and Osaka production studios and also be reducing the size of its Sydney outpost. As per Ubisoft, 143 employees are being laid off from the San Francisco office and 134 people are likely to be cut in Osaka and Sydney. My heart goes out to all the devs who have lost their jobs because of this closure. Festive seasons are upon us, and I can't imagine how difficult it would be for someone to lose their job at this time. This comes as a painful and unapologetic reminder to everyone about how merciless the gaming industry is, and more often than not, devs who put their everything in developing a game pay the price rather than the executives who more than often forces their vision upon them. We have seen such examples many times and will continue to see them even going forward if the industry do not take a step in the right direction to provide some sort of safety to the developers from such layoffs. For the time being, I can only hope that Ubisoft will do their best to support those who have lost their jobs during this closure. With a heavy heart, this is DJ signing off for today. If you find the video meaningful, please give it a thumbs up, and if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Until next time, much love and peace.